This video is about practice for writing conic equations. Part 1. Write the equation in standard form of each conic section described below. For number 1, ellipse. We are given major vertices is this one. Then minor vertices is this one. Let's sketch the graph so we know it's a horizontal ellipse or vertical ellipse. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get 2, -5 is here. Then 2, 7 is here. 4, 1 is here. Then 0, 1 is here. We connect major vertices and minor vertices. We can get this is a center. And also we know from here to here, that's A. And from here to here, that's B. Therefore, first step, using this midpoint formula to get the HK. So H equals 2 plus 2 over 2, that's equals 2. K equals, I'm using these 2 points. -5 plus 7 over 2 equals 1. So we get 2, 1, that will be HK. Your second step, the distance between center and major vertex, that's A. So we write down, this is a center. One of major vertex, that's 2, -5. Distance between these 2 points, that's A equals 1 minus -5 equal to 6. Distance between center and minor vertex, that's B. So we got the center. Use one of this minor vertex. I use 4, 1. You will get the B equals 4 minus 2 equals 2. Remember for ellipse, hyperbola, you have A, B, C, always followed by arrow. Look at the A, that's vertical. So I write down the arrow, vertical arrow here. For B, that's a horizontal. Since for A, arrow is vertical means below y square, and B is horizontal means below x square. Therefore, this will be the pattern. You will get y minus 1 square over a square, that's 36, plus x minus 2 square over 4 equals to 1. This will be the equation for this ellipse. For number 2, you got the vertex and a focus. Then you are given center. Let's sketch the graph for these coordinates. We got the -2, 6 is here. The -2, 4. This is the focus. Then your center, that's this one. That is the C. So we know that from center to vertex, that's A. And from center to focus, that's a C. And A is a vertical. Therefore, we already given -2, 1, that's a HK. From center, -2, 1, go to vertex, -2, 6. You can get the A equals 6 minus 1 equal to 5. Vertical arrow. From center, you go to focus, that's -2, 4. You will get the C equals 4 minus 1 equals to 3. Therefore, you can get the B equals square root A squared minus C squared. Because for ellipse, we know C equals square root of A squared minus B squared. Therefore, B equals square root of A squared minus C squared. You will get 5 squared minus 3 squared equals to 4. B is a horizontal because your A is vertical. Therefore, for this A must be below Y squared. That means this pattern. So we can plug in. You will get Y minus 1 squared over A squared, that's 25, plus X minus -2, that's X plus 2 squared, over B squared, that's 16, equals to 1. This will be the ellipse. For number 3, you are given foci and vertices. Still sketch the graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. So we got 4, -2. It's here. That's the foci. 8, -2 is here. That's the focus. 9, -2. It's here. That's the vertex. If you are given foci, you can get center. That's HK. So H equals 4 plus 8 over 2 equals 6. K equals -2. So we got the 6, -2, that's HK. Your second step, try to get the A, B, or C. From center, you go to focus, that will be C. From center, you go to this vertex, that's A. So we try to get the A. You have center 6, -2. Vertex, they give you 9, -2. Therefore, you will get the A equals 9 minus 6 equals to 3. And from 6, -2, using one of focus for -2, you will get the C equals 6 minus 4 equals to 2. Therefore, I can get the B equals square root A squared minus C squared. So you get 3 squared minus 2 squared, that's square root of 5. Then we put the arrow. For A, that's a horizontal. B, definitely vertical. In other words, this A must be under X squared. That's this pattern. So we can write down the equation for this ellipse. We get X minus 6 squared, because that is HK, over A squared is 9 plus Y plus 2 squared over 5. Square root of 5 squared is 5 equal to 1. This will be the equation for this ellipse. For number 4, Vertices is plus or minus 8, 0 with eccentricity. Since 3/4 less than 1, that means ellipse. Here's the pattern for eccentricity. It's C over A. E equals C over A. For circle, eccentricity equal to 0. For ellipse, eccentricity less than 1. For parabola, eccentricity equal to 1. For hyperbola, eccentricity greater than 1. You are given vertices. Let's sketch the graph. You have a positive 8 and a negative 8. Suppose this is negative 8, this is a positive 8. This will be vertices. So we get negative 8, 0 and a positive 8, 0. We can get the HK midpoint. That will be negative 8 plus 8 over 2 equal to 0. For K, definitely 0, 0. Therefore, this is the center HK. 0, 0. That's HK. Then from this center to this 8, that will be A. A equals to 8. So second step, I can get 0, 0. I use 8, 0. That means A equals to 8. Third step, using that E equals C over A, that is 3/4. I plug in A is 8 equals 3/4. Then we cross multiply. You will get the C equals 6. Therefore, you can work on that B equals square root. A squared minus C squared. That will be A squared minus 6 squared equals square root of 28. That is 2 square root of 7. Now check the arrow for A, that's a horizontal. For B, that's a vertical. That's why this is the pattern, because A must be below x squared. B must be below y squared. Therefore, we can write down the equation. Since HK is 0, 0, therefore x squared over 64 plus y squared over 28 equals to 1. Now let's go to number 5, hyperbola. Vertex is negative 3, 4. Asymptote line is this one. For this asymptote line, I want to change it into that either y minus k equals plus or minus the slope x minus h pattern. Therefore, I move this 4 to this side. You will get the y minus 4 equals plus or minus 2 x minus 1, which means that hk will be 1 and 4. So now we set up this coordinate plane, plot vertex and center. The first step, we got the center. Second step, the distance between center to vertex, that will be A. So we will get A equals 1 minus negative 3 equals to 4. A is horizontal. In other words, this will be horizontal hyperbola. Therefore, it's a x squared minus a y squared pattern. So this will be the equation. Then the slope for the asymptote line. A is a horizontal, B is a vertical. Slope equals B over A because rise over run. That equals, look at over here, that will be 2. So equals 2. We know A equals 4 already, so we got the B over 4 equals 2. Cross multiply, you will get the B equals 8. B will be vertical. Then using this HK and A and also the B, we can write down the equation now. X minus 1 squared over A squared, that's 16, minus Y minus 4 squared over 64 equals to 1. For number 6, you are given foci and vertices. You're looking for hyperbola. First of all, we will plot foci and vertices on the coordinate plane. Then we decide this is a horizontal or vertical. It will be vertical hyperbola. Therefore, this is the equation pattern. If you are given foci, you can get center by doing midpoint formula. So h equals 5 plus 5 over 2, that's 5. K equals 1 plus 7 over 2 equals 4. So we got the 5, 4. That is HK. Then from the center, you can get the C, distance from center to foci. That's a C equals 4 minus 1 equals to 3. And from center, go to vertex. That will be A equals 4 minus 2 equals 2. Remember, for hyperbola and ellipse, A, B always followed by arrow. For this A, that's a vertical. Since for hyperbola, we have C equals square root of A squared plus B squared. Therefore, B equals square root C squared minus A squared. We can figure out B equals square root. C squared is 9 minus 2 squared is 4. That's a square root of 5. Arrow will be horizontal. Since we got center, we got the A, we got the B. Therefore, we can write down the equation for this hyperbola. Y minus 4 squared over A squared, that's 4, minus X minus 5 squared over 5 equals to 1. Now look at 7. Parabola, focus is 3, negative 1. Directrix is X equals to 5. We sketch directrix and focus on the coordinate plane. Then we can get the center. For the center, I know 3, negative 1 and X equals to 5. Therefore, for H equals, this is X. You can see 3 plus 5 over 2 equals 4. And a K, we just use this negative 1. That's the Y. So we got the negative 1. Therefore, for negative 1 will be vertex HK. From the graph, you could see this open to the left. Therefore, you got to use x equals, and this a less than 0. We know that from focus to this vertex, that's P. So second step, we use 4, -1 and focus, that's 3, -1. I can figure out P equals 4 minus 3 equals to 1. We know that A equals plus or minus 1 over 4P. Therefore, you will get the A equals -1 over 4P because open to the left. That's why you get the -1 over 4. Since we already figured out the vertex and also the A, we can write down the equation x equals -1 over 4 y plus 1 square plus 4. This will be the equation of this parabola. Now let's go to number 8. Parabola, vertex given and a directrix. So we sketch the graph for directrix and a vertex. We could say this will be open up. That's y equals, then a greater than 0. From given vertex -1 and 5 and also y equals -9, we can get P. P equals 5 minus -9, that's 14, because both is y. Therefore, A equals, this is a positive 1 over 4P. So you get the 1 over 56. Since you are given vertex, this is HK. So we can write down the equation now. That will be y equals 1 over 56 x plus 1 square plus 5. This will be the equation of this parabola. For number 9, parabola, you are given vertex and also focus. First of all, we will plot the vertex and the focus on the coordinate plane. Then we can get the graph. It will be like this. Because focus always inside the curve. Therefore, it will be this pattern. Open to the right, a greater than 0. The distance between vertex and focus, that will be P. And A equals plus or minus 1 over 4P. First step, you will use vertex and focus to get P equals 0 minus -7 equals 7. Then A equals positive 1 over 4P. That means 1 over 28. We are given vertex, that's HK. Therefore, we can write down the equation x equals 1 over 28. Then y minus 4 square minus 7. This will be the equation of this parabola.